have a facility that is so unused in a town like this, so we should use it. What was your question again?
I was just saying, if no one else in the world is willing to delist the airport for drones.
No, actually, the irony is that all around the world, regulators are trying to keep drones away from airports. You probably see all the reports in the newspaper, drone near airport, oh, terrible, terrible. And this is the only place I know of in the world where the only place you can actually legally fly a drone is an airport. So that kind of speaks to, whoa, what's going on here? The reason we can do that, of course, is because the airport really is not used. As I say, not one envelope in the honesty box in a month. That's pretty unused.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say any more, but I do have a couple of concerns and I'll just raise them. Firstly, Mr. Simpson, I'd be concerned if you contracted some terrible disease and died, and I'm wondering whether the council would have to take an insurance on you, because the sole reason this would occur is because of you. I don't believe any man is that important. Secondly, you talked about trying to set up a training school here and the kids going down and buying $50 and $25 drones, and I've seen quite a few around. They fly them out here in the park. I've flown one myself a few times now, and the people I know whose kids are flying them are not going to go to a training session, or the very, very minority of them will. They are people of low economic status. I guess these things will be run for free,
Yep.
but even if they were run for free, I don't think you get a lot of the type of kids I see flying these things going on. Just a couple of observations.
Fair enough, Bill. It's interesting to know that I've sent some links to some of the councillors, I think, about some of the videos on YouTube that already show people flying their drones in the parks and areas around here in breach of civil aviation regulations. Now, these were not the little toy drones, these were the phantom drones. One was flying out over Lake Wainanui when they had the things in the lake there at Anzac period. Someone flew a drone right out over there. Breached civil aviation rules from several regards. They were flying within 4 kilometres of the helipad, outside a shielded operation, and they didn't have an observer. 2 egregious breaches of the regulations. Then there was a young chap who was flying his at the high school, the Takara High School, flying it above the trees, therefore not in a shielded operation, and the helipad is 300 metres away. He also flew out at Kinleith, and so there's a lot that goes on that you probably don't appreciate going on. The reason they do it is not so much, I think, out of contempt, but out of ignorance. And I'd like to be able to say, if you've got a drone, before you crash it, before you get into trouble, bring it along here, we'll give you a half-day course, show you how to use it properly, get the most out of your drone and protect it because you don't want to break it. I think that would be worthwhile.
Yeah, I agree, and I think you're probably right there, but I also agree with Councillor Machen that I don't think that the majority of people that are going out and spending a couple of grand on a drone like to go on to a training session and not that way inclined. You will certainly get a few, but whether it's going to be worthwhile, I don't know. You had a question, Councillor Sam, bear in mind I'd like to move it along.
Just a couple of things really. Firstly, I can see the attraction of the airport and the number of videos which are on YouTube. It's a bit like the Hobbiton effect. People go to Hobbiton because they've seen the movie and they want to go to the place where the movie was set. And that's the same attraction with the airport here. It's not the same as the football field at Pataria or another piece of parkland around the town. So there's a real attraction for visitors because they've seen that spot. Secondly, I must say I'm disappointed. It's over 3 years now since this has come up before council. It came up before the last council election and we just haven't made progress on it. And it seems to me that there has to be a meeting of minds, there has to be some resetting of objectives and a satisfactory conclusion which allows both users to be there at the same time. Otherwise we're just creating an unnecessary stalemate. Why are we talking for an hour here today about something like drones at the airport? This should have been sorted 3 years ago, not this session or last year.
3 years, Chair, Councillor Gillespie, it was, Council made a decision based on the information which was
But the decision we made was based on misinformation. I have to say that. It is based on misinformation, but it doesn't take into account all the things that have been said today and new regulations which have been promulgated since then. We were washed through a system and like approve without giving it a great deal of thought. And that's my belief right now. And I still think that we have to reconsider and set up a system which suits not only the total population of the town, but also users that might come from out of town. And if we don't do that, we're failing our residents.
Mr. Simpson, one thing that I would encourage you to do, because I hear regularly about these, international people of high standing coming to the district to get involved in the club. And you referred to one just recently, I remember someone from Microsoft, I think a senior executive from Microsoft. Have you ever considered perhaps bringing them in and talking to council so we can hear those stories as well? I mean, at the moment we're getting it from you via email or via, a Facebook post or whatever. I personally have never met any of these people, and I think it'd be well worthwhile to hear those stories, because if there is a real opportunity there, then we need to consider it. Based on what we've presented today, we haven't been able to make a case for it.
Yeah, I presented just a few pages out of my guest book and the submission I made, showing people from all over the world and the comments they made when they came to the airfield. Now, Brad came down on the weekend. I don't think you were in your office then, so that was a bit of a missed opportunity. But I'm happy to send people into the council chambers to voice their opinions if they come out to the airfield. But the problem is a lot of time it is on the weekend where it's after hours, but I will send the ones that come through if they're willing to be heard.
Well, yeah, and through leadership, I know. And I'm talking about these people that you're telling us that are going to make investments into the airport, or are going to come down and spend weeks here. I mean, let's hear from them directly as opportunities with you, in tandem with you, I suggest. Or even if they can provide that information to us directly via email. Because to date, as I say, we haven't actually seen that. We've had it on message.
Right, well then I seem to recall that you did get an email from someone from BAE Systems and you didn't even bother giving them a 5-minute phone call.
Well, I'll answer that because I did respond via email and went back to that gentleman and I never got a response from him.
And a 5-minute phone call to the world's largest aerospace company would have been more effective?
Your wishes, you had a question?
Yeah, just refresh my memory, please. We decided back then, when we were doing the planning, we were going to delist. We did just reconfirm that we weren't going to delist the airport. How long ago was that? I'm just in response to Councillor Bruce said it was only a matter of months ago, wasn't it?
It's goes back to the report. It's in the attachments and the report dated July 2016. So
Was that when we last met?
Yeah.
I knew I saw it somewhere, but it was at the
So that's
meeting.
when
So that's when we've just
Yeah.
last. Thank you.
Can I just say something? We still haven't got an answer from CAA about the question that was asked, and we were making a decision about delisting the airport without even having the information about the effect of delisting. So how can that be a logical sequence?
Can I suggest that Mr Simpson sends us a copy of the confirmation he's received from CAA to state that the shielding would work, because then I'll have that information
I can get a written document for you on that.
from CAA, the
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
It's actually on their website, and I've just got it up here in front of me. If I can just read from it briefly. Shielded operation is a flight where your aircraft is within 100 metres of an object that is capable of stopping it, like a building or a forest of trees. In a shielded operation, the aircraft must fly no higher than the top of the object. Okay, and a shielded operation allows you to fly within 4 kilometres of an aerodrome. Okay, so Mr Simpson's quite right if you take it direct from their website.
So the planes would not be allowed to go beyond the buildings.
The level, the height.
No more than
Not
100 metres from the
all
building.
the width of the buildings.
No more than 100 metres from the building.
No, the buildings have to be 100 metres from where you fly.
The building must be within 100 metres of the object that provides the shield.
And then the plane being flown is not allowed to go above the height of those buildings,
Exactly.
but beyond the width of
Beyond,
the
beyond 100 metres, nothing to do with width.
The same about the width.
Nothing to do with width.
It needs to be,
It's still
it
got to
needs
be
to be
sheltered
physically
by the
shielded.
Shielded by
So that's where,
Yeah, that's where there's a barrier. There's also mention of a barrier.
Yes.
It's fine. The
So-
barrier is a separate item. The barrier is something that will arrest the. It must sit between where you're flying and the airport is in that case, we have Strathmore Park has trees, and the actual helipad itself has trees all around it, which act as a barrier.
All right,
One more question.
one more question.
How many starts and landings are there at the airport, in your observation?
Of full size aircraft.
Yeah,
On average, probably would be less than one a day.
less than
But
one.
most of those are CTC who pay a flat rate.
Okay. What would be... So there's no passengers, no nothing?
There's no commercial
No,
service.
it gets on and off.
There used to be, before there were landing fees, people would sometimes drop in and go to the toilet and then fly over here, but now they just have to spend another 10 minutes, they can stop and have an for half the price.
All right. We're trying to keep it moving. Thank you, Mr. Simpson, for your input. We don't, I've noticed the report says it requires a decision, but it really doesn't, just update Mr. Simpson. So if there's no further questions or discussions at this stage, we will take it as just an update. I don't think we're going to be making, we're changing policy today. That's not the intent of the meeting or the report. So we'll just take it that we will, the recommendation on page 41 is to receive the report. This stays the update. I'm looking for a mover and a second. Councillor Machin, Councillor Lee, thank you. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Carried. All right, moving on.